The truth seeker. Someone who isn't afraid to dive into controversial topics, expose uncomfortable truths, and challenge conventional narratives. They're credible, empathetic, and present complex information in an accessible way, inviting viewers to think critically. You know the names, you cheer the victories, you celebrate the legends. But what if the very foundation of our cricketing dreams was built on something far more sinister than mere talent? For too long, this sacred sanctity of Indian cricket selections has been shrouded in a velvet curtain of secrecy. What if the meritocracy myth we all believed was just that, a myth? What if there were unseen hands pulling the strings, deciding destinies? Welcome, brave viewers, to a journey into the shadow economy of Indian cricket. This isn't about match fixing. It's about something far more insidious. It's about the power corridors and the covert covenants that have shaped our national team for decades. Today, we're exposing the untold sagas, the whispered truths, and the manipulative machinations that have decided who wears the blue jersey and who is left forever in the shadows. By the end of this deep dive, you'll see Indian cricket through a completely new lens. You'll understand the unspoken language of power and, hopefully, demand a paradigm shift. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew. 1. The patronage pathway. Imagine a shadow hierarchy where talent takes a back seat to familial affiliations or regional allegiances. This is the patronage pathway, a system where personal endorsements outweigh raw skill. We've heard whispers of scenarios where a player from a certain region, with powerful backing, consistently gets selected over a demonstrably better performer from a less influential state. It's like a feudal cricketing system where lineage dictates likelihood. A common phrase in the cricketing inner circles is referral over merit. This indicates that a strong word from a power broker can open doors that talent alone cannot. It's about invisible sponsorship. 2. The silent sanctions. What happens when a player doesn't toe the line or challenges the established order? They face silent sanctions, a subtle, almost imperceptible systemic sidelining that can derail a career. This could manifest as a sudden drop in form despite no visible reason, or being inexplicably benched despite stellar performances. It's a gradual fade-out rather than an outright dismissal, a career-stifling strategy. There are tales of players being frozen out of selection, talks after voicing concerns about team, management, or selection policies. Their performance data might even be downplayed, or simply disregarded in internal meetings. It's a vengeful veto. 3. The statutory smokescreen. Sometimes controversial selections are justified by a statutory smokescreen, a clever use of obscure rules or technical loopholes to rationalize a dubious decision, creating plausible deniability. A classic example might be a player's sudden inclusion citing future potential, despite poor current form, while another player with consistent performance is overlooked because they don't fit the long-term vision. It's about criteria manipulation. The term fitness concerns can often be a convenient veil to mask other reasons for a player's exclusion, especially when official medical reports are rarely made public. This creates an information asymmetry that benefits the powerful. 4. The media manipulation matrix. How do these controversial decisions gain public acceptance? Through the media manipulation matrix, a symbiotic relationship between certain media outlets and powerful individuals used to shape public perception. We've seen narratives spun to glorify certain players while subtly undermining others. It's not direct bribery, but a mutually beneficial information exchange, where favorable coverage is traded for exclusive access or inside scoops. Key phrases like sources close to the board or insiders reveal can often be a conduit for controlled narratives, preempting public backlash or building support for a predetermined selection. It's a narrative engineering at play. 5. The brokerage barometer. Beyond direct influence, there's a subtle brokerage barometer, a system where intermediaries or agents act as go-betweens, facilitating access or negotiating pathways for players. This isn't always about money. It can be about favors, networking, or simply being connected to the right people. A player might be advised to switch states or play for certain clubs to gain visibility currency with selectors. The informal networks in Indian cricket are incredibly powerful. A recommendation from a respected former player, who is now a selectorial confidant, can carry more weight than 100 runs on the field. It's about relational leverage. 6. The loyalty litmus test. Sometimes selection isn't just about skill. It's about passing the loyalty litmus test, demonstrating unwavering allegiance to particular factions within the cricketing administration. Players who show public dissent or align themselves with opposing groups might find their careers hitting an invisible ceiling, regardless of their performance. It's about political alignment over cricketing brilliance. The post-retirement opportunities for players, such as coaching roles or administrative positions, can sometimes be tied to their perceived loyalty during their playing days, creating a cycle of compliance. This is the reward for resonance. 7. The regional rift. Indian cricket, with its vast geographical spread, is not immune to the regional rift, an underlying tension where state associations vie for dominance and representation quotas in the national team. A powerful state association might aggressively lobby for its players, creating pressure on selectors. This can lead to an imbalance in representation, where deserving players from smaller states struggle for recognition, even if their performances are superior. The term quota system is whispered in hushed tones, suggesting an unwritten rule where selectors might prioritize diversity in regional representation over a purely merit-based squad, resulting in geopolitical selections. 8. The hidden handshake. Deals beyond formal agreements. There are often hidden handshake deals, informal, off-the-record understandings that influence selection, often involving mutual benefits or quid pro quo arrangements. This could be a selector favoring a player from a certain academy in exchange for future favors, or a coach agreeing to promote a player in exchange for logistical support in their own endeavors. It's about unspoken pacts. These deals thrive in opaque decision-making processes, where transparency is minimal. The lack of public accountability allows these clandestine covenants to flourish, perpetuating an unseen economy of influence. 9. The corporate collusion. With the commercialization of cricket, a new player has entered the field, corporate collusion, where sponsorship imperatives or brand endorsements subtly influence selection decisions. A player who is highly marketable, even if their form is inconsistent, might receive more opportunities due to their commercial appeal, while a less glamorous but more consistent player is overlooked. It's about marketability over mastery. The pressure from corporate stakeholders to have their endorsed athletes on the field can be immense. This creates a conflict of interest, where athletic performance is sometimes secondary to financial viability or brand visibility. 10. The veteran's veto. Even after retirement, powerful veterans often exert a veto. Their informal authority, or gravitas, within cricketing circles can still significantly sway selection outcomes. A legendary player's casual remark about a young talent, or their subtle disapproval of another, can influence selectors. This is not official power, but reputational leverage that can be a career catalyst or crusher. The respect commanded by these elder statesmen means their opinions are often given undue weight, even if they lack current insight into player form or team dynamics. It's about legacy influence casting a long shadow. 11. The talent trapdoor for many promising young players. The talent trapdoor is a harsh reality, a sudden, inexplicable disappearance from the radar. Despite stellar performances at junior levels, a player might consistently perform well in domestic circuits, even break records, but never get the call-up or even a fair trial. It's as if they hit an invisible wall, suggesting a gatekeeping mechanism at play. This can be linked to a lack of political patronage, being from an unrepresented region, or simply not fitting the preconceived notions of selectors. It's a tragic tale of potential unfulfilled due to systemic barriers. 12. The psychological playbook. 22:31-25:00. A. Explanation of the mystery. The most insidious aspect might be the psychological playbook, the subtle, mental conditioning of players to accept the status quo, to conform to expectations, and not question the establishment's wisdom. This is not overt coercion, but a culture of silent acquiescence, where players learn that rocking the boat leads to dire consequences. They are implicitly trained to be obedient professionals, even if their instincts scream foul play. The emphasis on team spirit and playing for the badge can sometimes be weaponized to suppress individual grievances or legitimate concerns about unfair practices. It's about emotional manipulation to maintain hierarchical control. We've dared to venture into the untold stories of Indian cricket selections, shining a light on the patronage pathway, the chilling silent sanctions, and the deceptive statutory smokescreen. We've uncovered the media manipulation matrix, the subtle brokerage barometer, and the demanding loyalty litmus test. We've navigated the regional rift, the elusive hidden handshake deals, and the pervasive corporate collusion. We've seen the long shadow of the veteran's veto, the tragic talent trapdoor, and the subtle psychological playbook that binds it all. These are the top movements, the spike moments, the key points where the game you love truly gets decided. This isn't just gossip. It's a call for accountability, for radical transparency, and for a return to pure sporting integrity. You, the passionate fan, have the power to demand change. Your voice is the unseen force that can disrupt these dark dynamics. If this deep dive into the hidden realities of Indian cricket resonated with you, if it made you question, if it made you yearn for a fairer game, then don't let this knowledge remain silent. Smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to join our community of truth seekers. We are the Hidden Heroes Hub, and we're committed to unearthing the stories no one else dares to tell. Don't miss our next expose. Thank you for your courage in exploring these uncomfortable truths with us. Your engagement is vital. If you found this video eye-opening, if it sparks a conversation within your cricketing circles, then please share it widely. Let's ignite a movement for a truly meritocratic Indian cricket, a game where only talent, passion, and performance dictate who gets to wear the sacred blue jersey. Until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, and keep believing in the power of truth.